guys, I'm making this video exclusively for YouTube. This is going to be just for my YouTube collective. I am starting to get a little bit more serious about my YouTube now that I'm posting a little bit more frequently, and so I do want to make specific content just for YouTube and not always kind of like cross my content in between TikTok and YouTube. If you guys found me on YouTube, feel free to add me on TikTok. It's the same screen name, Brooke-Elizabeth 1111, and then that's the one. I think I'm up to like 15.5K or something like that. There's a lot of fake pages of me. I'm not any of those other ones. I don't have any backup accounts on TikTok other than my fake page that I used to stalk my fake pages, if that makes any sense. But nonetheless, feel free to add me. If you found me on YouTube, let me know in the comments. I'm just kind of wanting to see how everybody's kind of accessing me right now, because I think I'm finally up to like 2.5K or something like that on YouTube. I'm just kind of getting started. I'll go easy on y'all. I won't put all my wild content like I do on TikTok. We'll go slow. I did get a lot of requests to do a part 2 on my last collective reading that I did for you guys. This was about the somebody that either your husband or boyfriend or significant other works with, or somebody you work with that's obsessed with him and kind of wants to take your place. That definitely got a lot of requests. I don't necessarily feel that energy right now. If it does come up in this reading, I'll go ahead and ride the wave. Until then, y'all feel free to add me. Let me know in the comments if y'all found me on YouTube or TikTok. Let me know y'all zodiac signs, just because I'm nosy and I like to know. So I am a triple water sign, so sorry, Cancer Sun, Cancer Rising, and Pisces Moon, but I have a lot of Capricorn placements that kind of balance me out and make me look like I have no heart, and it keeps me grounded and working and out of the 5D 24/7, because if not, I would be lost in the sauce. And I have a couple Leo placements that add to me acting like a little narcissist sometimes with my little ego and whatnot. So it keeps me a little vain and insane. But nonetheless, guys, y'all let me know what y'all signs are. And I did go ahead and channel a lot of things for this collective reading. Once again, this is a reading just for my YouTube channel. I don't know who rhymes a lot or does something pertaining to rhyming, but that came through tough because a lot of these things rhyme as I was writing them, and I thought it was hilarious. I almost didn't do it, and I was like, I sound like I'm making shit up, but it literally, somebody is either doing like some poetry, some slam poetry, some music producing, some writing, something like that. They're having to, or Dr. Seuss could be significant, I don't know, but there's a lot of rhyming in this one. A lot of kind of random things, but you know, as we know, this is collective energy, so just feel free to take what resonates, leave the rest. And if any of this resonates, of course, always let me know in the comments. I do try to respond to comments as much as I can here, guys. I'm not as overwhelmed on YouTube as I am on TikTok, so more than likely you'll get a response from me if you comment on here. TikTok, I try my best, guys. It gets a little wild. And if you're here for my TikTok crew, thank you guys for the double support on both platforms. I appreciate y'all. I love my TikTok crew. YouTube, y'all be giving me a run for my money. I love y'all. Y'all are a different kind of crowd. Y'all keep me on my P's and Q's. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all definitely, you know, I think with TikTok you can do clips and it's edited and it's more, you know, performative based almost. Like you just need to kind of get people's attention quick. Well, YouTube, y'all have time. Y'all got time today. And when on my long videos that are unedited, because I make it a point to not edit at all whatsoever, not a filter, not anything. You know, it's just, this is me. I just woke up, so I love it. But y'all will check the fuck out of me. Y'all are hilarious. I love y'all. Y'all have a very creative kind of way of viewing things. I attract a different kind of crowd here on YouTube, so I appreciate everybody nonetheless. And with always, you know, as always, there's always those weirdos, and I'm one of the weirdos, so it's cool. Welcome everybody. Okay, I did channel the song Jesus Walks by Kanye. That is stuck in my head like no tomorrow. I did want to play it in the background, but I think I would not be able to post this video if I did that, so just act like it's in the background, I guess, because it's here. You maybe lost some keys recently, something about a big bowl, and I feel like your keys or something that you lost may be in this big bowl. Somebody has like a bowl of like junk items, kind of, it's giving like a kitchen junk drawer, but it's in a bowl. It's something about in a cabinet or by a cabinet, something about in the kitchen. That came through. Music producing and slam poetry came through. Boot and reboot, and I don't know what that means. I don't know if you wear boots. I don't know if you rebooted a system. I mean, I couldn't tell you what that means. Let's see, someone is copying you. but you're maybe taking it the wrong way. They just don't know how to express their admiration for you. This is not a typical copycat case. This is somebody who really does look up to you in admiration. They feel very empty inside, but Spirit wants to remind you that you cannot mentor this person. You've already taken enough people under your wing. You need to mentor yourself right now. You cannot afford to take another person under your wing. Very important. So don't get offended by them copying you. Don't get offended by them being in awe of you. They're immature, and they are a little bit, I'm getting the impression maybe they're like a little bit Peter Pan syndrome or arrested development, stunted growth, something like that. Maybe developmentally delayed or something, and you may not be able to tell immediately, but that's just kind of how they admire. So don't take offense to it, but also you cannot take on another mentoring situation. You cannot take anybody else under your wing right now. You need to mentor yourself. It is time to release. So if you are currently mentoring somebody and you've taken them under your wing, their time is up, with love, but you need to focus on yourself right now. You need to surrender. You need to surrender. You're kind of fighting against the current right now, some of you, and you are making things a lot harder on yourself. Spirit wants to remind you that you're not necessarily wrong about your viewpoint on things. You're actually right. There's nothing wrong with what you're saying or how you're viewing it. You're correct. The way you're approaching it and the way that you are fighting against the current is making everybody's situation a lot difficult, whatever that means. It's complicating it for everyone involved. And even though you're doing it out of love and sense of justice and whatever the case may be, Spirit wants you to just back up a little bit and just let it flow, let it go. You have a lot of, or somebody does, this is a message for somebody, you have chaotic love. That's kind of what I just channeled, chaotic love, and you need boundaries. There's something about how intense you come across because you have been misunderstood before or you have been hurt before. You tend to over-explain yourself and almost berate people and back them into the corner so that they understand you. But it's not needed in this season of your life. You need to respect your own boundaries, and Spirit wants to remind you that the boundaries that you put in place are not for you to tell anyone else about. They're just to protect you. And you're kind of going about it the wrong way, and in turn, you're not respecting your own boundaries. You're almost setting these boundaries with the expectation for them to be broken, and you're allowing them to be crossed, and then you're attacking people when they cross those boundaries that you allowed them to cross. The boundaries are for you, they're not for them. They're for you, they're not for them. One more time, the boundaries are for you, they're not for them. Okay, so for instance, if you tell somebody, I don't take calls after 7, and they call you after 7, you don't answer and say, I told you not to call me after 7, right? You just don't answer the call after 7. Okay, seriously, don't allow them to cross the boundaries, and then it won't be a problem. You're going about it the wrong way. It's not malicious, but Spirit did want me to bring that to your attention. There is somebody around you that is triggered by your genuine confidence because they have a false sense of confidence. You may have already picked up on this. They get maybe a little bit angry when you get attention. It's very subtle. It's not personal toward you. Spirit does not want you to take it personal. They're not attacking you. This is an insecurity that's been with them for a very long time, and you just happen to be everything that they're not. And it's, once again, Spirit is really wanting some of these situations to just be looked at from a different viewpoint. Okay, and they're just reminding me again about the mentorship situation and this person copying you, because it is very offensive. I think that they are kind of taking something that is an authentic part of you, and they're maybe almost mimicking it. They're doing that because that's how they show admiration and love. They don't plan on trying to destiny swap with you. They don't even know what that is. So please, whatever that is, just let them have their moment. Okay, you are in the wrong environment right now. Before, though, I did put Stephanie had an epiphany. I don't know what that means. Stephanie must have had an epiphany. I don't know if that was like a funny, it sounds like a book title almost, but it's hilarious. And there's a lot of rhyming situations that are about to come up. But Stephanie had an epiphany. Stephanie, you might have had an epiphany, babe. I don't know, whatever that may be. Let me see here. You're in the wrong environment. There's something about this environment. I put shady folks and shady oaks. I don't know if that's an apartment name. I don't know if there's oak trees around you with shade. I don't know if there is indeed shady folks around you, but that was the rhyming little situation that occurred. Shady folks and shady oaks, gloom and doom, wrong environment. I did channel what I believe to be maybe area codes, or I think these are area codes, 717-305-212. And then I got the number 1711. That might be an apartment number or something. And then 7-Eleven. So maybe you go to 7-Eleven quite often. Brownie batter, ladder, Dr. Seuss. I don't know. I don't know about these rhyming things. You have this thing where you block memories. and then you dream about them and you think they're just dreams. No, those are actually memories. Those are kind of your guide's way of helping you transmute some of that pain, because your brain kind of compartmentalizes it for you and you dream about it to work through it in the astrals. So any dream that you're having that feels real, like it could have possibly been a memory, or it feels like, wow, I feel like that might have happened before, it did. And that's, you're just, your team is allowing you to relive that moment in the astrals to redo it so that it doesn't traumatize you. I don't know what that means. Something about wigs, hair, nair. Careful Care Bear. I don't know what that means either. Maybe you like Care Bears. Maybe your nickname is Care Bear. Maybe you need to be careful. I don't know. Wigs, hair, and nair. Like the cream to get your hair off of you. Wigs, hair, and nair. I just got to download. Maybe somebody put nair in your shampoo or something, and they're trying to. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That was a weird one. Something about pantyhose. Something about somebody is watching you too closely. Snooping around in a shared bathroom. Maybe you have a roommate, maybe you stay with a group of people, maybe you're in a shared living dynamic, and you feel like somebody might be snooping. They are. If you have a shared bathroom with a lot of people, I'm kind of picturing a hallway. It looks maybe like a college dorm or something like that. I don't know quite what I'm seeing, but it could be that, or it could just be you with a roommate or whatever, but somebody is snooping around in your bathroom. The lost item, you lost an item that came through again, and that could be in the cabinet. Inside of that junk bowl. Just a reminder about that again. People are telling their business through you. I guess they are, I don't really know how to take that other than, oh, thanks, Spirit. Maybe they're going to let us know. Oh, okay. Wow, okay. People are telling their business through you. I think it's that little thing where, like, you know, when people are lying and they just want to get it out, like if a guy's sleeping with his coworker, right? And he's like, I really hate Ashley, right? But you're just like, or Bernard really loves Ashley. I don't know why he has a wife. He needs to stop doing that. And that's what your husband is saying, right? And you're like, So he's kind of like using Bernard to snitch on himself. It's something like that. They're telling their business through you. So maybe they're in a group setting, they're with friends and family, whatever. They're gossiping, they're at work, and they're saying, Stacy is such a bitch. She da-da-da-da-da, and that's what they just did, da-da-da-da-da, and they just want to say it because it's kind of like confessing and it makes them feel better. They're telling everything that they do through you. So you might be getting blamed for some off the wall shit, but it's them. Yeah, so just whatever that means. I do see the moon and the tower that came out. This is Pisces energy, could be. There's a lot of things that are under the surface, a lot of illusions, but everything is about to come crumbling down. So this could also have to do with the people telling their business through you. This could have to do with the snooping, and this could have to do with your environment being gloom and doom. Something about transmuting that energy, boot and reboot, whatever that means. That just got reminded to me again. Oh, this. Somebody is sheltering their kids a little bit too much. It's out of love, and they're not realizing that they're kind of, they're not allowing their children to have the experiences that they need to become as strong as they are. And your kids may even become stronger than you. You don't need to shelter them. I know that we want to protect our kids as much as we can within reason, absolutely. But please understand, if you're there to save your child every single time and you don't give them the opportunity to save themselves a little bit with you on the sidelines to support them, allow them to make a few decisions and a few mistakes so that they know what they're doing in the future. You won't always be there to support them and save them and handle everything for them. And do not have them rely so heavily on your guidance that they don't know what to do in the event that you're not present. I did not say that. That is definitely a channeled message because I felt uncomfortable saying it. I want to protect my kids at all costs, and that could even be a message that I needed to hear too. So that is for somebody, sheltering your kids. And then I put, there's beauty in the battle. There is beauty in the battle. There is beauty in the battle, okay? Something about scars, we rise with our scars, something like that. So I don't know what that means, if somebody says that a lot or something similar to that, but I just got chills. So that is absolutely a message for men and women, a father and mother. Seriously, I just got to download. Also, there could be a grandmother or a grandfather raising their grandkids. That also came through right now, so that could have to do with that too. There is beauty in the battle. You have to allow them to endure some things with you on the sidelines. As much as it sucks, it would suck more for them to not know how to handle it in the event that you weren't there. And I think somebody definitely understands that because they're raising their grandkids right now, meaning that their kids are not available to raise their own children. And I think that's a really sad thing, but there's beauty in the battle. You live what you speak, and you are doing it quite gracefully. You are actually, wow, an amazing grandmother, and you do not have to trip yourself for what your daughter is doing right now or what your son is doing, but I do feel daughter. I feel like your daughter is unavailable and she's not raising her children, and you're bearing the burden of that. This is your calling. You will be okay. You cannot hold yourself accountable for your daughter's mistakes and wrongdoings. She will either come back around or she won't. You are an absolute saint for taking on your grandchildren, and you deserve every fucking blessing coming your way. And do not live in the guilt, and do not parent them out of guilt. Do not support them out of guilt. And you don't have to make your family dynamic look like anything it doesn't need to be from the outside looking in. I'm talking very fast right now. This is not my words. 1519, angel number, could be a 15th or 19th, could be a 15 and 19-year-old. You are not responsible for the choices that your daughter makes as an adult, and you are doing the best you can with what you have. It's okay to ask for some help. It is okay to ask for some help. It is okay to ask for some help. Something about health issues coming through, somebody's offering assistance, but you're too scared to accept it. You need to accept it. Don't sit around and wait on God to help you. That is God sending people to help you. That is a huge part of your life path, is that people will get put in your place to assist you because you've always done that for others. You're an amazing person. Your husband is wonderful and he helps a lot too. But at the end of the day, grandma got this, and you're doing a wonderful job. Pray for your daughter at a distance, and she will come back around eventually when it's time. Right now, this is actually pouring into those grandbabies' purpose, okay? It's pouring into their purpose. It's pouring into their purpose. There's beauty in the battle. So I do just want to say that. I just heard Cancer. I just heard Leo. I just heard Virgo. Something about astrology, zoology. I don't know what that means. Maybe you read them Dr. Seuss books. Maybe that's why the rhymes are coming through so tough. Maybe you read them a zoo book, or y'all like to go to the zoo. Zoology, astrology. What is zoology? Is that something bad? I should probably look that up. I don't know what that is actually. Why did that come through? I don't know why I want to say like it's like the movie like Zootopia. Is that a movie like the little kids movie? But zoology, is that something bad? Let me stop saying that. I don't think that's a word. Hold on. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. This is how y'all have to know that this is not me. This is straight from spirit, because I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, it's a branch of biology dedicated to the scientific study of animals, encompassing their classification, structure, behavior, and evolution, as well as their interactions with the environment and ecosystems. Okay, that just made me think of this thing that I was watching one time on this documentary about, there was like a group of monkeys, like apes, gorillas, something like that. They were in the wild. There was like one breed of, I'm saying it, I don't know how to say it the right way, but it was a breed of apes, okay? Whatever. They actually were being studied by scientists. There was a river that was like going up. I'm saying this all wrong, but just get the message, because whatever. There was a river that was kind of like separating that tribe of apes. So one side of the river, half of the tribe was, and the other half stayed on the other side. Well, the side with the river, where the current was flowing or whatever, that's where it had all the fruit and the vegetation and the sunlight and the water and the fresh resources. And the men protected the women and the children, and everybody was happy. There was not a lot of altercations. And the other side, where the resources were more slim, toward the end of the river, where there wasn't fresh water and not a lot of sunlight, and whatever the case may be, they were a product of their environment. And that somebody may have asthma. I just felt a little something in my chest, but they're a product of their environment, and they ended up becoming aggressive, and they would fight for the little bit of resources that they did have. And that tribe of apes, even though they were the exact same tribe, they were just separated by resources and this river that kind of naturally happened over time, or whatever the case may be. They started attacking the other tribe. That could be significant. I don't know why I channeled zoology. Maybe somebody likes animals or study of animals, but it made me think of that. And that I heard about that years ago, and I'm 100% sure I'm saying something incorrect, but get the message, which is people that are in a bad environment, they sometimes become a product of their environment. Sometimes people have to change who they are in order to survive, and they don't necessarily realize how drastic it is. When the resources are slim, then you will see the violence occur. You will see people fighting one another. You will see people doing the crabs in a bucket method, and they don't understand what it's like to help each other. They're too busy being in survival mode and fight or flight and struggle and lack mindset and all of the above. So it causes for some aggressive situations that, if you already are having abundance of resources, it'd be hard for you to understand, because somebody like you might want to say, if you have all the fruit and the water in the world, you can say, well, fruit and water isn't everything, guys. Why are y'all fighting over fruit and water? We have none. You have an abundance. So I think it's just understanding both sides. that may apply to somebody. 1941 on the timer, could be an angel number. I do just want to look over these cards because, so okay, I got the Tower. Something is going to come crashing down. Pisces energy, moon, something is under the surface. Another Pisces card, Hanged Man. So somebody may be viewing something from a different perspective, or maybe even feeling like a little bit stuck or stagnant, or maybe a little bit withdrawn and observing. They could be meditating now to maybe use their intuition to see what's going on under the surface. Could be doing a little bit of shadow work. King of Wands, this is a possible fire sign masculine. This is somebody that's stepping into a leadership role, or who is even viewed as a leader, very dominant in a good way. And it's time to embrace. It's time to embrace that. That's who you are. That's your calling. It's time to embrace that. You have overcome a lot of heartbreak. 3 of Swords. You may have there's Queen of Wands and Page of Wands. Wow, okay, and 6 of Cups. And the Fool. You may have been separated from your family. You could have maybe a wife or ex-wife and a kid. King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Page of Wands. My God, 6 of Cups. You may be thinking about your childhood memories a lot, or your memories with your family. You may have lost your family. You may have lost your family by being naive and reckless. You could have had 2 daughters. You could have 2 daughters. Maybe your daughter is now a teenager or a young woman, but you remember when she was once a little kid. Oh. She could be getting married maybe to this King of Wands, or maybe she got her heart broken by this King of Wands, and you're watching that happen, and it's very triggering for you. Maybe even you could be the mom. You could be the mom watching this happen to your daughter or your son, and just remembering how sweet this baby used to be, and maybe she's going through some tough times. Yeah. Oh, I do feel that. My goodness. I can't quite see it clearly, but it's making me want to cry. So a lot of heartbreak and painful endings and backstabbing and betrayal, and maybe you wish there was something you could have done differently in their childhood, but you can't fix it now. You can just be there for them the best way that you can be. Understand we're all human. You maybe are judging yourself, or trying to avoid judging yourself or judging her, because you know that you maybe played a role in her upbringing, and that's why she kind of chose this man or chose this life, or whatever this case may be. Maybe she's not there for her kids. This could be for the grandparent that I was channeling. I'm absorbing a lot of heat right now on my right side. Masculine energy. She's not ready to face herself yet. She's still running from herself. So you just have to meditate, breathe, pause, and let the tower fall how it needs to fall. It's not up to you. Okay? And also your grandkids are not your kid. You cannot compare how your child acts in their adult age to your grandkids. You think you may mess up your grandkids the way you messed up your daughter. You did not mess up your daughter. You were also a product of that horrible environment. Gloom and doom, shady oaks, shady folks, possibly. Wrong environment. 717-305-212-1711-711. You could have been a part of that environment, and you were doing the best that you could with the resources that you had, with the knowledge that you had at the time, while also being in survival mode. And you're doing the best thing that you can be, and doing the best that you can do for your grandkids right now, and even for your daughter, who's very lost right now. She's very lost. I kind of picture her maybe an addict, or kind of roaming about homeless, or in a domestic relationship, a domestically violent relationship, maybe just not making the best of choices, maybe in and out of jail, maybe stealing. I do get stealing. I do kind of see her wearing a jacket, some puffer jacket, which is weird because we're in September, but that could just be a memory that you're having. Her getting on like a bus or a train, something like that. I live in Texas, and what I'm viewing right now, I've never been there. It's not New York, it's not Chicago, it's not Jersey. I don't know what this is. Somewhere that's cold, somewhere with a train station that's pretty common for everyone to ride. I don't even think this is in the US. It looks like a UK, and I don't even know what UK looks like or why I said that. I don't know where this is. You could just be having memories of her childhood when you were raising her. You did the best you could. I get that you were a single mother. I'm also getting the feeling that the man that you're with is not their actual grandfather, but he does help as best that he can. He's a good man. You maybe have gotten married later in life, once you develop patience. This is really coming through strong for this collective, guys. My God. Page of Wands again as I split the deck. King of Cups. That could be the grandfather. He could be a little bit reserved. And I'll just say grandfather because he does play that role. He's just reserved and calm and patient, and he lets you do your thing. He's a good man. Could be a possible water sign. Devil. There's a toxic binding that your daughter has on her right now, and there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot hold yourself accountable. You can be there for her in the best way you can as long as it doesn't take you out. Right now you have those babies to worry about, and you have got to prioritize yourself. There's some assistance coming through for you, and you need to say yes. You need to swallow your pride and say yes. You cannot disconnect from that assistance. Don't get so sad about these kids. There could be 3 or 4 kids, and this was a confirmation because I was feeling that 3 or 4 kids. And it's like you're so busy looking at these 3 kids that maybe you missed the 4th one, or you're looking at the 4 kids and you're missing the blessing someone's trying to give you because you're so sad. But don't be so sad. Cancer energy, that is the truth. Mental clarity. You could discover a truth about something, or you could just understand that that is the truth, what I just said. You can accept assistance. This is okay. Get out of guilt, get out of shame. Don't let people shame you. Don't shame yourself. Nobody else is viewing you in that light but you. So don't do that. And it just, 4 of Cups again. That is Cancer energy, guys. That's disassociation and whatnot. And this is somebody being generous with you. Okay, it is at the bottom of the deck, so you're considering not taking it. Let them help you. God placed them in your life for a reason. You won't owe them a thing, and they don't want you to pay them back and cheapen it. Let them do what they're offering, okay? Let them do what they're offering. They may be offering to get you out of there or move you forward in some way, or you feel like you maybe have to get out of a situation or an environment, or the mom does. There's something significant that I said 3 kids, 4 kids, looking at 3 kids, but not the 4th kid. Maybe the mom has the 4th kid, because I see this mom is sort of has this kid and she's kind of going away, but maybe she kept one of the kids. Page of Cups could be a water sign. She could be bartering, maybe like, maybe she has like one over on you. If she has the kid, she may be trying to make you feel bad for keeping her kids from her, or she's viewing it in that way, but you're really just doing the best you can to keep them safe. This is really strong. This is not the message I was expecting to get, guys, but this is for somebody, so bear with me. This has turned into less of a collective and more of a personal, and I'm still going to post it. It's on my soul heavy. She could have one of the kids with her. Use your intuition right now. You don't need to tell her everything. You will get the baby back. Everything's going to be okay, I believe. She's just operating from a place of pain right now. She's not going to be able to handle the responsibility of keeping that kid with her. So that's when you'll get your opportunity to bring that baby back home, okay? Right now, she's watching you. She's waiting for a reaction. She's operating from a place of pain and being heavily inebriated, and she's not making sense right now. But she's just refusing to change, refusing to transform. And once again, here goes that 4 of Cups. So the 4th kid is coming. Do not miss your opportunity by focusing on it too hard. Everything will be fine. That's the truth, okay? She's very defensive right now, and there's that Page of Wands. Yeah. Could be a fire sign or water sign child, maybe a little boy. Maybe somebody knows where he is and they're saying, hey, you know, whatever the case may be, they cannot handle this responsibility. They can't. It'll hold them up from being able to do what they want to do, which is be under the influence and roam around and whatever else. So they're not going to be able to maintain that kid. So they'll have to do it in a way that suits their pride and to get the kid back to you, but you'll end up with all 4 kids or 3 kids or whatever that looks like. I do heavily feel 4. 10 of Cups, this is you with your family, your grandkids and your husband, and y'all are going to be okay, and your daughter will come to terms eventually. It may be years, but deep down inside, she knows what's going on here. She's running from herself, okay? She's not in her right state of mind. She's heavily avoiding her toxic addiction and her habits and her traits. She understands, she feels guilty that she's kind of letting go of this legacy right now with her children, and she feels like she's letting them down, which she is, but she's in a lot of pain right now. She's trying to overcompensate by being maybe mentally sharp, or she could have a toxic air sign masculine with her that's maybe sort of making her do things she doesn't want to do. He maybe appears holier than thou, or kind of controls her in some way. Could be a Taurus male. I do see 3 of Cups here as well. This could be in some sort of group that she's in, or friend group, or just a bad community, a bad environment, a bad social setting. Not a good thing. I get that she's traveling a lot right now, but she feels very lonely. There is something here coming through about feeling left out in the cold, feeling neglected and feeling lonely without her kids. But she knows that while she's sitting here with no jacket and no shoes and a match and not even one sock, I mean, she's by herself outside the church. Maybe she needs to go back and find God again, because the Hierophant could also represent a church. She's in the wrong community and she knows it, and she chose this. And you cannot save her right now. She is maybe heavily under the influence of control. Leo energy here, strong, strength. Somebody could be maybe like dominating her, or something about very passionate, you know, read between the lines with that one. Six of Cups. You are really remembering your childhood, and she wants to blame you for something that you didn't give her or something you could have done. But we all know it's much more than that. I need you to not harbor that guilt. She's really overlooking things right now, and she's kind of just understanding that she's not ready to heal. And you may be understanding of that too. Wheel of Fortune and Temperance is you just needing to kind of let go and let God, and let her go through her own cycles, trials and tribulations. You can't shelter the children how you did your daughter, because now she's blaming everything on you. Maybe that's a lesson for you. You may be overhelped. You were too good of a mom. You were too involved, right? You overhelped, and we kind of see how that works, because now she's maybe trying to turn it back on you and manipulate you, and all you were trying to do was just love her. She's aggressively moving forward in her pursuits, and she could be in a vehicle or something like that, driving, traveling, moving around, but nonetheless moving forward. She's moving around a lot right now, and you got to let her do what she does. She's being very impulsive right now, but the scales will be balanced, okay? She still loves you. She just can't say that right now. She's very burdened, and you love her, and her kids love her, and it's important to not talk about her in front of the kids, although you may be very hurt. Just kind of rest and retreat, and let her do her thing. She's at a crossroads in life right now, trying to not face herself, and what she has to do is a huge thing of sort of getting out of her own head, utilizing her intuition, seeing what's actually beneath the surface, and pausing and meditating, and just hanging tight. She needs to maybe be in her own thoughts right now. This is Virgo energy, Pisces energy coming through, Libra energy. She needs to, Leo energy very strong as well. She needs to actually put the work in and think her own thoughts, and stop relying on this group. It's going to be slow and steady progress. She's moving kind of slow right now, trying to avoid a tower, because she's feeling very mentally tormented. She is heartbroken as fuck. This could be maybe from her dad, which could be your ex-husband. He could be maybe emotionally manipulative, or you could have been hurt in her past, her childhood. He may have done you so wrong and put two swords in you, and he convinced you to put the third in, and then blamed you for doing it. He maybe had you do it to yourself. This is maybe what's happening with your daughter. Something about a repeating trauma cycle, a generational pattern, something like that. Yeah, this has to do with her dad and you. You see things clearly, and he was pretty controlling, and I think you were pretty bitter too in the past, just because life had hardened you as well. And that's also something that you'll just have to accept and move forward from. It doesn't make it wrong or right. It just is what it is. But she's in this group right now, and this group is not good for her. It's very inconsistent. It's sort of manipulating her, as far as like it's giving her hope one day, Aquarius, and then Scorpio, it's leaving her in a state of despair. It's very back and forth. Sometimes they abandon her, sometimes they control her, sometimes they include her in the group, sometimes they love her, sometimes they don't. That's all part of their schemes and their tactics, or whatever they're doing. They are controlling her. They're emotionally manipulative, and she may be under the guise of a woman's care, somewhat of a madam. I'm not really sure what that's about. That is maybe acting positive and making her think that she's independently making these choices, but they're absolutely manipulating her. But she is strong. She needs to not seek external validation and fill that empty void within herself, and stop lying to herself and allowing others to lie to her, because deep down inside she does know. There's a lot of fast, naive action that she's making right now that's not very thought out, and she is a little bit gullible right now, and that also has nothing to do with you. She will get strong enough to get grounded and make a head over heart decision where it pertains to her stability. But right now she is avoiding it. There's a cycle that's about to close pertaining to this child that she has with her right now, and he will be back home if that's who she has, or there's something about that, okay? There is positivity that's coming through here. You kind of shed a light on these children, and you allow them to know what love is. You're very emotionally fulfilling to them right now. Gemini coming through. Ace of Cups and Empress is coming through strong. Guys, these cards are speaking. I'm speaking so fast right now. You can't tell me this message isn't for somebody. You can't tell me that. I mean, this is crazy. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. You are very nurturing to those children, okay? You are fine. You have learned the lessons that you were supposed to learn. You don't harbor in guilt, and you continue to love those babies, love yourself, love your husband, love your life. You're okay. She will eventually escape. She will get out of there. It's going to be a long, rocky road. But she needs to step back into her power. She needs to step back into her power. and get back grounded. Yeah, she has to be happy within herself. She has to teach herself how to love again so that she can love those kids again the proper way. I don't know, this kind of just took over the whole thing, guys. I don't really know what else to say other than it feels like a good stopping point for me. I feel very overwhelmed in my chest. If this message is for somebody, let me know. If any of these messages applied to you guys that didn't have to do with that situation I just spoke on, let me know. I am more than likely going to do a part 2. Left side of my face is on fire, feminine energy. Yeah, she's isolated in her own mind right now, and it's not your fault, okay? Somebody is very anxious. I'm absorbing all of that right now. Yeah, you're upright. You're doing the right thing. You keep following who you're following, whether that be spirituality, religion, your own personal beliefs, you just operating with you know, morals and integrity and being upright and doing the right thing and staying true to yourself and your grandkids and your husband. Your husband's coming through very strong, very upright man. He could be this male Taurus here that's very gentle and kind. Yeah, 10 of Cups. Y'all are your own unique little unorthodox family. Okay, and when your daughter gets well, maybe a couple years, I'm being honest, she'll have to really be able to emotionally do what she needs to do. So a lot of mental pain inside of her and mental unwellness that's causing that. She's avoiding making that decision, but eventually it'll come crashing down before it gets better. You need to not hold yourself accountable for that. Let go and let God. Just let it happen. You be there for your grandbabies. That kind of took over. So yeah, cool story, bro. All right, 3610 as I'm ending. If these messages apply to you guys and it's separate, y'all let me know and I'll come back for a part 2. And I will do a part 2 of that other one that I did the other day as well. Stephanie had an epiphany. Maybe that's your daughter's name. Okay, bye. God bless.